That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Dune Prophecy made its premiere last night on HBO Max. Listen, I love the world of Dune. I loved the first Denis Villeneuve film. I love Dune 2. I personally think Dune 2 is like the best movie made in like the last 10 years. I love it that much. I love the rich mythology of the world and all that kind of stuff. And now we get into Dune Prophecy, taking place about 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides, Timothée Chalamet's character. At the beginnings of the Bene Gesserit. And I remember thinking, looking at the trailers, it's funny how it doesn't look like technology in that world has advanced very much in 10,000 years. But right off the beginning, they reveal that the Butlerian Jihad, right, which is kind of talked about theoretically in the books. I mean, the main author's son later kind of fleshed it out a little bit, but there was like multiple different versions of what that jihad was all about. But the showrunners kind of picked one and kind of went with it. It was a Terminator-like war that took place between machines and men. That at some point in its history, intelligent machines rose up against mankind, and there was a big war between them, and like House Atreides was one of the big heroes in defeating the machines, and hence a galactic ban goes into place. No intelligent machines, no self-thinking machines, no self-aware machines ever allowed. Now, this does a couple of things. Number one, it sets up great why there's this house system and the role of the Bene Gesserit and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing it does is it explains why technology hasn't advanced all that much in the world of Dune. I mean, it has advanced a bit, but not too terribly much. And it also kind of explains why you have the navigators. Like when you get into the main Dune storyline,
Right.
like why not just, that's why, because they've kind of stunted the growth of machines. I actually really like that a lot. At any rate, so the show had about a 71, 72%, which is not the greatest. I mean, it's still good, but it's not the greatest stuff. And I was kind of hoping for something great. But one of the big recurring themes I heard from a lot of the initial reviews and reactions was, if you're not into Dune, this isn't going to click for you. But if you are into Dune, it should really meet you where you're at. As somebody who's really into Dune, I got to tell you, I loved the first episode. I thought it was great. I love the whole establishment of the sisterhood. I love the fact that, Valia Harkonnen is not the originator. She took over from the original Mother Superior, but like her whole philosophy, establishing the houses, the Emperor already seeing all the back deal, political touch. And I can't remember the name of the actor from Raised by Wolves. Was that the name of the show, the sci-fi show?
Yeah.
With the
by
guy who
Wolves.
played Ragnar in Vikings. And he's also the main guy in the World of Warcraft movie, Travis Fimmel. That's his name. First person to put that in, Cord Cutter Cam. Thank you, Cord Cutter Cam, in the live chat. Travis I thought he was the moment he showed up, he's got that classic way of the way he speaks and talks, and I thought it was perfect for the character. But it's clearly setting up. There's several conflicts going on, including, for some reason, him not wanting the sisterhood to rise to power. So anyway, the whole thing was great. We meet all the main list of characters. Of course, we meet the sisterhood. We meet the Emperor, played by Mark Strong. We also meet his two children, brother and sister, and the sister's in a prearranged marriage so that the Emperor can get military help on Arrakis so they can mine the spice. And I love her. Love her. So yes, she's this big royal, and she's part of this, but also, to quote the great philosopher Cyndi Lauper, girls just want to have fun because, of course, her and her brother head out and just go hit up a porn club. They go hit up a sex club. Why not?
So it is kind of like Game of Thrones in a way.
Yeah, and she's engaged to a 9-year-old. Fabulous. Anyway, look, without going into it all that too much, I thought episode 1, personally for me, did a great job of establishing where this world is at, getting into the great mythologies, setting up their characters, and a great first episodes need to have a great ending. And I thought the ending of the first episode was great.
So, yeah.
But I will say this. I loved it. but I can totally vouch for all those reactions and reviews that came out that said, hey, listen, if you're not a big Dune person or you're not really into the lore of Dune and stuff like that, this might not be for you. Totally get it. Because, you know, Penguin, even if you're not a comic book movie fan, I think if you're just somebody who appreciates good television drama, you can watch Penguin and love it. I agree with those reviewers and reactors who said, hey, listen, if you're not into Dune, you're not up on the lore, Dune may not be for you. And I could totally get why they said that. I think they were right about that. I don't know that anybody just clicking on Dune as like their first Dune experience.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But
You wouldn't jump
I'm
into...
just saying, for me, it was great.
Yeah.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mando. Thank goodness it is football season. It's time for tailgates, touchdowns, and Sunday cookouts with the crew. But unfortunately, along with the drinks and the food, sometimes you also bring along your odor. And that is why Mando whole body deodorant should be an absolute tailgate game day essential. And that's why Mando's the MVP. It's clinically proven 72-hour odor control, so it's perfect for long days at the game or at the bar. I'm loving the Clover Wood scent, but they've got options like bourbon leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and even unscented if you prefer to go stealth mode. I like to use it after the shower, before the gym, or even important meetings. It's that reliable. And right now, Mando's got a killer deal. New customers get $5 off their best-selling starter pack with my exclusive code CAMPEA. That's over 40% off. Just go to shopmando, that's shopmando.com, and use the code CAMPEA. Seriously, guys, if you want a deodorant that's aluminum-free, baking soda-free, and just works better than anything else you've tried, it's time to make the switch to Mando. So don't wait. Control body odor anywhere with Mando. Head over to shopmando.com and use the code CAMPEA and get $5 off your starter pack. Trust me, you're going to love it. That's at shopmando.com. Go and check it out now.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to get into it. I'm going to get into it tonight. But I guess when we're talking about HBO being consummate quality, would you still say this like sets up as far as the quality, the level of intrigue, your interest for the future? What I'm going to be interested too is if it has an upward trajectory on its viewership.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great point, right? Because two shows we just finished watching, Agatha and Penguin, both did a fairly rare thing, not never heard of, but like a fairly rare thing where every single episode the viewership went up for both Agatha and Penguin. Up. Now, a lot of shows, even well-received ones, they premiere big and then their viewership levels off. And then maybe spike a little bit at the season premieres or at the season finales, right? What will the Dune viewership do? I'm not so, again, because I don't think it has the wider appeal like, say, Penguin did.
Sure.
So I think it's going to premiere fairly strong and then plateau, and that's fine. Then hopefully it keeps its audience and then can peak at the season finale. But I'm not expecting to see that up trajectory that, say, Agatha All Along had or Penguin had.
So the premiere wasn't like the Game of Thrones premiere, because they're saying this is supposed to be like, some people are saying like Game of Thrones or the next Game of Thrones or sort of the Game of Thrones.
It definitely, I would say this, because of the backstabbing, the political maneuvering, all that kind of stuff. Is it similar to Game of Thrones in that way? Yes. But to all those people who I've seen, it's like, this just kind of feels like they're copying Game of Thrones. My response is, you do realize that Dune has been around way longer than Game of Thrones. And the book, even the original books, with the original stories and stuff like that, all had that political maneuvering and stuff like that. Even in the movies, we see it, right? So like that kind of form of storytelling, Dune's been doing it decades longer than Game of Thrones has.
So it's sort of like how Lord of the Rings ripped off Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Quoting the comic strip. Because there were a lot of people say, yeah, this Lord of the Rings just feels like it's ripping off Dungeons and Dragons, or Dungeons and Dragons is just, Lord of the Rings is ripping off Dungeons and Dragons. It's like, you do know that Lord of the Rings has been around way longer than Dungeons and Dragons has. Anyway, I liked it, but I can see why it's not going to be for everybody. But for me, it's now my new Sunday must watch.
I'm excited to see how episode 2 picks up.
Yes.
So,
because listen, it's like the Disney Plus shows, right?
Yeah.
we found out it's not that hard to start strong. Because most Disney Plus shows, hell, I even think Secret Invasion. I thought Secret Invasion episode 1 started fairly strong. And then went, bleh, right? So, okay, Dune Prophecy for me, double thumbs up, started strong. I cannot wait to see where it goes. The question is going to be, can episodes 2, 3, 4 maintain that? Or does it go to the crapper like a lot of the Disney Plus stuff does? We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to see Dune Prophecy, the first episode? I personally loved it, but I don't think everybody will. Maybe you're one of those people that you watch it and you thought, not for me. Maybe you liked it more than I did. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.